Imagine the scene. It is a cold, crisp Sunday night in Paris. The lights of the Stade Charletti are beaming down, but the focus isn't just on the pitch. In the stands, amidst the sea of French supporters, a familiar figure is watching, silently, analysing. It is Phil Parkinson. The Gaffer wasn't there for a holiday. He wasn't there for the croissants. He was there because something monumental is brewing behind the scenes at the Racecourse. We are talking about a move that wouldn't just break a transfer record, it would shatter the ceiling of the entire championship. We have seen the Hollywood influence, we have seen the documentary cameras, but what is happening right now in the final hours of this window is a statement of intent so loud it is echoing all the way from Wales to the French capital. While we are sitting here looking at the table, thinking about the playoffs, the club is plotting a move involving a figure of $26 million. Yes, you heard me correctly. Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Rodrigo, and today we need to have a serious, deep conversation about the direction this club is taking. It is not just about the money, it's about the ambition. We've got incredible new footage from above the racecourse that changes how we see the stadium. We have an emotional departure for a promotion hero that we need to address with the respect it deserves. And finally, we are going to dissect the reports coming out of France that suggest Wrexham AFC is about to do something absolutely unprecedented. Grab your coffee, settle in. We are not just reading headlines today, we are reading the tea leaves of Wrexham's future. Let's get into it. We have to start at home, the heart of the club, the stock Kairas. You know, sometimes when you are in the thick of it, sitting in the stands or watching the match on a stream, you miss the sheer scale of the transformation happening around us. But less than a week after the contractors moved in, we have got new aerial footage that really puts things into perspective. And it is looking proper.
We are seeing significant updates specifically around the Stoke Cold Brew coffee stand. Now, for those of you who obsess over the details of stadium infrastructure like I do, because let's be honest, the ground is part of our DNA, this is fascinating. The aerial shots have revealed the installation of the new rail seating in the upper tier. This isn't just a cosmetic lick of paint, this is a fundamental change to the architecture of fan safety. This goes back to the announcement made in May. The club promised us upgrades and they are delivering. The rail seating is the headline here. It is that hybrid model, designed to keep the atmosphere electric, but controlled. The club has been very specific in their communication today. They are reinforcing that despite these rails going in, the stadium remains an all-seater venue for the regulatory purposes of the 2025-26 season. What does that mean for you and me? It means the culture of the stand is shifting slightly to ensure we don't face sanctions. The club is saying, look, you have the rail, but you need to sit. You stand for the goals, you stand for the big incidents, but for the 90 minutes of general play, they are urging fans to remain seated. It is a balancing act, isn't it? We want that intimidating vertical wall of noise, but we also need to comply with the Safety Advisory Group. Speaking of the SAG, the club confirmed this project is a partnership. We are talking about the local authority, emergency services, all the key stakeholders signing off on this. It is vital because as we grow, as the crowds get bigger and the spotlight gets brighter, our safety rating has to be Premier League standard. The images show there are still scaffolds up. The work isn't 100% finished, but it is almost concluded according to the latest update. It is a visual metaphor for the club really, under construction, rising upwards, but still with a bit of scaffolding holding it together while the cement dries. This is about future-proofing. We are preparing the Kairas not just for the rest of this season, but for future campaigns where the demands on infrastructure will only get higher. It shows the owners aren't just dumping money into players, they are building the fortress. And frankly, seeing those rails go in, knowing it makes the stand safer without killing the vibe, is a massive positive. It's professional, it's prepared, It's Wrexham.
Now, we have to shift gears. We have to talk about the human side of football. This one stings a little bit, I won't lie to you. It has been confirmed in the last 24 hours that Andy Cannon is leaving the club on loan. He is heading to Burton Albion for the remainder of the 2025-26 season.
Let's just pause and appreciate Andy Cannon for a second. This is a lad who has been instrumental. A back-to-back-to-back promotion winner. You don't get that on your CV by accident. He has been in the trenches with us. He has scored 12 goals in 88 appearances, but his contribution goes way beyond the stats. He was the engine, the bite, the energy in the middle of the park when we were fighting to get out of the National League and League Two. But football is cruel, and injuries are the cruelest part of it. We all remember the win against Mansfield Town last February. A great day for the club, a terrible day for Andy. That ACL injury was a heartbreaker. It takes a long time to come back from that, physically and mentally. He has done the hard yards, he is back in full training, but the reality of the championship is ruthless. The squad has evolved, the intensity is ramped up, and right now, Andy needs minutes that Phil Parkinson simply cannot guarantee him at the Racecourse. Parkinson's comments on this were typically classy but pragmatic. He said, "We wish Andy all the best. He's worked really hard to get himself fit, and this opportunity gives him the chance to get back to playing first-team football." That is the key. He needs to play. He's 29 years old. He cannot sit on the bench or in the reserves waiting for a cameo. He needs to test that knee in competitive League One football. He joins Burton Albion, the Brewers. Gary Bower is a manager there. Interestingly, they also have Seb Revan on loan, so there is a familiar face waiting for him at the Pirelli Stadium. Burton are sitting 20th in League One, so they are in a scrap. They need fighters. And if there is one thing we know about Andy Cannon, it is that he is a fighter. It's a loan until the end of the season. Does this mean the end of his Wrexham career permanently? It's hard to say. But for now, we have to look at this objectively. It creates space in the squad, it allows a loyal servant to get his career back on track, and it shows that the club is trying to do right by its players, even when they aren't in the starting 11. We wish him luck. He is part of the story, he is part of the history that got us here. But as one door closes for Andy, a massive gold-plated door seems to be opening for someone else. And that brings us to the main event.
This is the news that has everyone talking. This is the reason Phil Parkinson was in Paris. We are looking at reports, multiple credible reports, that Wrexham AFC is discussing a record-breaking $26 million signing.
The player in question is Siddiqui Sheriff. Let's break this down because the numbers are mind-boggling for a club that was in non-league just a few years ago. We are talking about a 19-year-old striker currently playing for Angers in Ligue 1, the top tier of French football. According to the reports, Wrexham is in talks to pay a transfer fee that would set a new championship record. To give you context, the current record was set just last August when Ipswich signed Cinder Wale Ageli for around $24 million. If this deal goes through at $26 million, Wrexham, our Wrexham, would hold the transfer record for the second tier of English football. That is a staggering statement of financial power. Phil Parkinson flew out personally to watch Sheriff play against Paris FC on Sunday night. This wasn't a whim. Football Insider is reporting that we have had scouts watching this kid since November. This is a calculated long-term target. We are competing with the big boys now. Crystal Palace, a Premier League club, is reportedly interested in him, but the reports suggest Palace has balked at the asking price. They hesitated. Wrexham, backed by the Hollywood owners and this surging momentum, apparently has not. So who is Siddiqui Sheriff? He's young, only 19. He has 4 goals in 19 appearances in his first season in Ligue 1. Now, you might look at that and say 4 goals isn't a lot, but remember, he's a teenager playing in one of Europe's top 5 leagues. He's under contract until 2029, which is why the price is so high. We are paying for potential. We are paying for what he will be, not just what he is. However, there is a twist in the tale. There always is. In that match Parkinson watched, the scoreless draw in Paris, Sheriff exited the game with an apparent ankle injury. That is the variable. That is the risk factor. Spending $26 million on a player is one thing. Spending it on a player who's just limped off the pitch is another. Parkinson was asked about transfers last week, and he gave us the standard manager response. He said, "There's lots of names we get linked with. At this stage of the window, there's inquiries, there's talks going on." He's keeping his cards close to his chest, focusing on the players he's got. But you don't fly to Paris on a Sunday night in the middle of a rigorous championship campaign unless you are serious. According to The Athletic, Sheriff is one of 3 potential signings before the deadline. 3! But Sheriff is the jewel. He's the statement. We are currently sitting 6th in the table. We have 44 points from 29 matches. We just came off that incredible 3-2 comeback against QPR. The momentum is there. The clean sheet mentality is evolving into a "we will outscore you" mentality if we bring in this kind of firepower. This move signifies that the owners believe back-to-back-to-back-to-back promotions are possible. They aren't settling for consolidation. They want the Premier League, and they're willing to shatter records to get there. It is risky, of course it is. $26 million is a fortune. But if Phil Parkinson, a man known for his prudence, a man who vets character as much as talent, is sitting in the stands in Paris, it means he sees something special. He sees the player who could carry the Red Dragons to the promised land.
So, where does this leave us? We are a club in transition, moving at lightning speed. On one hand, we are solidifying our foundations, literally, with the stadium upgrades at the Estok Kairas, ensuring our home is safe and ready for the future. On the other hand, we are making the difficult but necessary decisions to loan out heroes like Andy Cannon, ensuring the squad remains streamlined and competitive. And right in front of us, dangling like a carrot, is the potential for the biggest transfer in the history of the Championship. Siddiqui Sheriff, a $26 million gamble or a $26 million investment in destiny. The transfer window clock is ticking. The Gaffer has made his trip. The scouts have made their reports. Now it is up to the board to decide if they pull the trigger. If this happens, the world of football will shake. Wrexham won't just be the Hollywood story anymore. We will be the heavyweight contender. I want to know what you think. Is $26 million too much for a 19-year-old? Are you sad to see Andy Cannon go? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe, because if this news breaks, if Sheriff signs, we will be back here immediately to break it all down. Until then, keep the faith. Up the town.